Okay, we're going to talk about aperture, and that's the variable opening in your lens that allows light to reach the sensor in your camera. This lens is a Mamiya 2.8 80mm film lens, but it's got great blades in it that's easy to show you how the f-stops work. Aperture and f-stops are the same thing, just different name. Each click is an f-stop. So right now the lens is set at f22. You see the little tiny hole? We're going to move it until it clicks all the way out to 2.8, which is the biggest hole. And then to close it down, it clicks all the way back down to f22. The numbers are just crazy. f22 is the smallest. f1.0 is the largest hole. Most lenses range from f22 to in the 3.5, 4 range. So not only are the numbers inverse to the size of the hole, they aren't in any particular order. Each f-stop that you make up or down the list cuts or increases the amount of light that passes through the lens by 2 times. So if you move from a 1.8 to a 2.0 lens aperture, you're allowing twice as much light to enter. So each f-stop is 2 times. Most lenses, as I said, are in the 4 to 3.5 range. Anything below that, 2.8 down to 1.0, are considered fast lenses. Not because they're speedy, but because they allow more light. Lenses are rated on the face of the lens usually, and it'll show the zoom range and the maximum aperture, or the f-stop, for that lens. So for this lens, you'd say you had a 35-80, 4 to 5.6. Even though there's a little 1 with a colon out in front of your f-stop, or in front of your aperture, ignore that. It's on all the lenses. So it's just a ratio that you don't need that first part. It's just confusing. This lens, for instance, would have a zoom range from 35mm to 80mm, with the maximum aperture at 35mm being 4. When you zoom out to 80, your maximum aperture is 5.6. So when you look at your chart, it's at 4.0 when it's zoomed all the way in, but when you zoom out, it goes to 5.6. So as the further you zoom out, the smaller your hole gets. Some lenses are prime lenses and they only have one focal length. This would be an 85mm lens, and it has an aperture of 1.8. Now it also goes all the way up to f22, but it also opens up all the way down to 1.8. So it is truly a fast lens. You'll hear people talk about how fast is your lens, or even when you move your settings, if you're shooting at f16 and you move down to f11, you've moved to a faster f-stop. Or if you move from 5.6 to 4.0, you've moved 2 stops. So just a couple of terms that people throw out there, and we want you to be wise and in the know. So there's some aperture for you.